We have breaking news. Detroit Lions defensive end Marcus Davenport could potentially be out the entire NFL season. Ian Rappaport just put this out. Lions pass rusher Marcus Davenport suffered what appears to be a serious and significant elbow injury in Sunday's game. Sources say Davenport, who put a sleeve on it and tried to return, could be lost for the season. He's currently undergoing more tests. Man, this is devastating for a couple of reasons. I think for reason A, Davenport started to look pretty good. And that was the biggest concern of mine when he was signed. It's not the talent. It's not who he is when he's healthy. It's the inavailability. Like, he's consistently been unavailable the last handful of years. Now, luckily, the Lions gave him a one-year contract. They're not married to Marcus Davenport. But this is where I get to the second reason. And I think another reason, and this is why it's devastating. Marcus Davenport, they didn't really plan for who comes in after him. Who's the replacement for Marcus Davenport? Right now, James Houston would be that guy. Levi Onwuzurike, even though he could play on the edge, that's not someone that you typically want playing on the edge. James Houston has been disappointing. The coaching staff has asked more out of James Houston. So Marcus Davenport going down, they don't really have much behind him. And again, like, this is a big reason why I've advocated all summer and predicted in a way that I think Brad Holmes will be more aggressive this trade deadline. I think an edge is the position they're going to acquire at the deadline. I've been saying that since July. So I still believe it. I think if you want to be a Super Bowl caliber team, you have to have a Super Bowl caliber defensive line. And yes, DJ Reader and Lee McNeil are great. Aiden Hutchinson. But you need to know who's on the other side of Aiden that can consistently get after the quarterback and B, consistently defend the run very well. And then if you want to add in there, be healthy, which is the obvious one. But he has to be able to do both. James Houston can't. He's not great against the run. He hasn't quite looked like the pass rush specialist that the Lions thought they had last year or 2 years ago, his rookie season. So to me, it's like, where do they go from here? Well, you start picking up the phone because if he's out for the season, in no way, shape, or form should Brad Holmes look at this defensive line and go, we're just going to roll with these guys. No way in hell Brad Holmes should do that. I mean, I don't know what football you guys have been watching if you disagree, but there's no way I'm looking at the edges they currently have, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, yeah, they're fine. Just call up Isaac Ukwu. Like, Isaac Ukwu, fine player, fine rotational piece, fine, he looked great in preseason, but you need more than that. You just do. And it's just frustrating that a guy like Davenport can't make it 4 games next week through the NFL season. Like, if you're going to sign a player like Davenport, you got to bring in someone else. You got to bring in another edge, someone that could kind of be the insurance policy. Because I guess Brad always has a soft spot for injured players because he thinks, hey, I can get him on a discount, which he's very true. He's very true. He's right about that. And then the other thing is, well, maybe we can get these guys playing well above their contract. Like Davenport, a 1-year, $9 million deal, but can he play way better than that? But then there's the risk is, what if he gets injured like he always does? And you're sitting here empty-handed and you're going, well, the whole offseason discussion amongst Lions fans was get Aiden Hutchinson help. And yeah, you got DJ Reader, but he can only do so much. I mean, the run defense is great. Rushing the passer, getting help for Aiden Hutchinson is what you need. And Lee McNeil just went down. So at this point, you have no Lee McNeil, which Levi Onwuzurike can fill that void, and no Davenport, which you have nobody. I don't trust Pascal there. I don't trust Houston there. I don't trust anyone they have in that room on the other side of Hutchinson right now. No one's proven that they can take that role and be successful at it. They just can't. And even Houston, with his pass rush upside, he hasn't shown he can defend the run, and he hasn't shown that he looks remotely close to what he did his rookie year. So this has to be a concern for the Detroit Lions, as well as the defense has been playing. You lose a big piece in Marcus Davenport, which they didn't have last week, and they lost. Of course, the defense played well, but Aiden had the game he had with DJ Reader's return. And not saying Aiden won't be productive. He's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. But you look at some of these top-tier teams in the NFL, they have multiple guys. It's not just Aiden and DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil. You got to get someone else that could just fill that void. and just know their role and be damn good at it. So if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm picking up the phone. All right, this is a year where you expect to make the Super Bowl, at least to make the Super Bowl. Go get a guy. Go see who's available. And this is why I advocated so much for Matthew Judon. Because Judon, and look at the Falcons, they didn't extend him yet. He's playing on a contract year. And he's looked really good. So that's why I pounded the table for Matthew Judon. Because I knew this would happen. I knew he'd play on a contract. I knew he wouldn't be as disruptive as Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick's very disruptive. It's clear. Judon's not. He's playing. And he doesn't have an extension. You don't think he'd play for the Lions, who are Super Bowl contenders in a state he's from? Like, this is what frustrates me. So I'm curious to see what Brad does here. Again, the worst case scenario to me is just stay put and say, all right, let's just roll with the guys we have. Brad's got to be a little aggressive here and find ways to improve this team, which he always does. I'll give him credit. Always does that. But what do you guys think, man? And again, if you comment, which I will read all of them, but if your thought process is, oh, the Lions will be fine, I seriously recommend you to just think for a second. Not that you aren't already thinking, but really think you're confident in who they have besides Aiden, DJ Reader, and Ali McNeil. Because you're lying if you say you are. Like, you just are. And because Levi, I'm not putting on the edge. It is a concern to me. I mean, and I'm curious. I'm really curious. And hopefully Aiden can keep playing at that level he's playing at. I think he will. But they're going to need it. They're going to need it going forward. Comment down below. Share your thoughts. Check out our live show, too, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. weekdays. We'll discuss this more so in depth tonight. And along with a lot of other things. The Lions win over the Cardinals. But please, comment down below, like the video, subscribe, tell a friend, and I'll catch you guys next time.